Well, I'm glad to be here this morning. It's bright and early on a Monday morning in Manhattan, Kansas. The sun's still not up, so this is highly unusual for me to be at the office this early. But I'm so glad to be here. I'm joined today by Brittany Burgess, who is a senior admissions representative for K-State Online. Some of you may have contacted her, and she would have been probably the person that shared the link for today's webinar. So welcome, Brittany. Glad to have you here. And then another admissions representative you may work with is Ms. Diane Leon. And I'm not sure if she's on today, but if she is, welcome, Diane. So the agenda for this morning is I'll speak for about 30 minutes. I don't have that long of a presentation to make to you. And then we can use the rest of the time for questions or to chat a little bit. If you want to think about the discussion question, we usually like to know where you are located and what your bachelor's degree is in. And again, we are recording this session and you will receive a link to it after today's webinar, just in case there's any information that you'd like to review.
Hey, Susie.
Yes?
We can't see your screen.
Oh, did I not share? Technology is good when you use it correctly. So the way I like to approach this webinar is to assume that most of you are looking at programs in addition to K-State's. So I like to talk about some of the key points that you should be looking at when considering programs. And those are accreditation status, total cost of the program, what the format is, whether there's any flexibility, kinds of support services, and then talk a little bit about K-State's PMBA features and how we stack up in those areas. We want to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples, so to speak. In regard to accreditation status, K-State holds the highest accreditation possible, and that's from the Association to Advanced Colleges and Schools of Business, which is AACSB. Only 5% of programs internationally possess this accreditation, and we also hold separate accreditation in accounting programs. So that puts us in an extra elite group that we're in the top 5% of that 5%. So we're very proud of the quality that we have. And that accreditation is not something that you earn and then you just go, phew, we're done. They make sure that we are continuously trying to improve the program, that we're not sitting on our laurels, and they visit us every 5 years to make sure that we're meeting their very high standards. And we've been continuously accredited since the late 60s. So the cost of K-State's program is $2,500 per course, plus the cost of the international trip, which I'll describe later. So when you're looking at other programs, you may have a tuition price, you may have additional fees that you're responsible for. So make sure that you're getting the full scope of those costs, and whether tuition covers textbooks, are there scholarships available? But overall, you should be approaching this search for an MBA program as an investment in your future. The third item you should be looking at is the format. So is it asynchronous, which means that you do not have to be live at any time, or are there some synchronous times where every week you need to log on at a specific time? Are there residency requirements, meaning do you have to travel to the campus for a week or two at any point during the program? And then what are the academic progress structures for you? So are the classes a full semester or are they a half semester? And then are there any peer-to-peer interaction opportunities? Those are all important because they make you feel engaged and less like a correspondence course. And then the fourth key item you should be looking for is flexibility. So do you have to be admitted by January 1st each year in order to get started, or by July 1st to get started in the fall? Does the program allow pauses? You know, COVID kind of rocked everybody's world. And if programs could not be flexible, they lost students pretty quickly. And then what is the general timeline for completion for your MBA program? Do you have a set goal, or are you going to be kind of taking it easy and just easing into it? And can that program match your goals for that moment in time? And especially if you're getting employer tuition assistance, how can the program be structured to maximize that benefit? And then are there required live times? That's a separate item from residency, which usually is a week at a time. But are there times that you have to come to campus at all, maybe for orientation? And then do you have elective and concentration options to choose from? And then the fifth item are support services. Is there advisement? Is it only available very short windows each day? Do you have opportunities for professional development or networking? Are there mentorship opportunities? Maybe your employer provides mentorship, but you're interested in possibly having a mentor just through your MBA program. And then are there career services available to online students? So this brings us to how K-State's program fits all of those criteria. For students who are coming from a non-business undergraduate degree, most have to take 36 hours to complete the MBA program. That's 12 courses. We don't require an undergraduate business degree, but we do require that you have taken 2 undergraduate economics courses, 2 statistics courses, or 1 at the graduate level, and then at least general calculus and linear algebra. So this would be a step above college algebra, but a step below Calc 1, if that puts things into perspective for you. The GMAT exam is waived for applicants who have 3 years of professional experience, but since we require that all applicants already have 3 years of experience before starting the program, the GMAT is generally waived for everyone. And then the application fee is $65 for domestic students, $75 for international students, but we can waive that fee if you have a 3.5 GPA or higher. However, today, since you're joining this webinar, you automatically qualify for an application fee waiver, and Brittany or Diane can help you get that if you're interested in applying. So a key difference of K-State's program with many others is that we do require an international experience, which is a 10 to 14 day business trip. That's a faculty-led trip abroad. We stay in very nice hotels. I mean, maybe your employer doesn't let you stay in such nice hotels, but we do stay at like 4 and 5 star hotels. A, because they're more secure, and B, we want it to be truly more like a business trip than like an undergrad on the cheap international experience while you're abroad. You do get the opportunity to interact with C-suite executives at the businesses that we visit. We generally try to visit 5 companies. Sometimes we get the opportunity to do more. And prior to the departure, you will be asked to do a little bit of research about these companies so that you aren't showing up in Italy or Costa Rica or London and say, so what is it that you do here? You'll already have a general idea, but then can ask deeper questions that maybe touch more on the company's business strategy and how they maximize and their diversity and how they decide which direction to go. You also get cultural immersion. We do visit culturally significant sites. For example, in Taiwan, we visited a Buddhist monastery, and it was just truly, I can't even describe it. It was just a little overwhelming how peaceful and how many are attracted to coming there just to study. And then, of course, the exquisite architecture and the statues and the art that were there just blew our minds. You can bring your spouse or significant other with you on the trips, and you do have time on your own to do some self-exploration or break off with a subset of the group that you might be hitting it off with, just to do some adventurous things on your own. So what sets us apart from the rest of the programs? You can earn your degree while maintaining full-time employment. Our classes are set up in an 8-week format, so students can complete 2 courses per semester while focusing on one at a time. So taking one class and working full-time, and then if you have family commitments or volunteer commitments that are outside of those, that's usually a big enough load for most people. It's not like your undergraduate years where you're juggling 5 classes and trying to keep up. It's one class and then life that you're dealing with. And so most students can complete their degree in as little as 2 years. The average is 2.5. But you can take as long as 6. So, and that's where this flexibility idea comes into place. If you have to pause your program because maybe you're getting ready to launch a very large project and it's going to be keeping you going 60 hours a week, you're not going to want to be committing 15 hours to studying and doing homework on top of that. So we can restructure your course sequencing that will allow you to take a break for a quarter or a semester. Some have had to stop for a year. We can work with you. The long and short of that is we can work with you, especially if you are getting tuition assistance. Some companies are very generous, but if you stay consistently enrolled, you can expect to pay $12,500 in a calendar year for 5 classes. But some companies only offer $5,000, so we can whittle that back so that you can maximize the tuition benefit and minimize out-of-pocket expenses as much as possible. Our program was just announced recently as being ranked 24th in the nation by U.S. News and World Report, and so we're very excited. That's the highest we've ever ranked since we were eligible to be in the national rankings. So, and we're number 20 among public universities. So we're very proud of that. We have the quality, we're very competitive, but you'll notice that the price of our program, while I'm not trying to say that $30,000 isn't a lot of money, other programs can be over $100,000. And we basically teach the same things. So kind of have to look at it, yes, as an investment, but do you have to go that high? And the answer is no. We can work with you and give you a high quality AACSB accredited degree without going over that $100,000 mark. And the great thing about our program is that you're learning from faculty who have worked in industry. So they're not just theoretical people that have only been doing research their entire professional careers. So they can provide you with real world examples that they know from their work experiences. And furthermore, they're the same faculty that are teaching in our campus MBA program. So you're not getting an adjunct who has no other affiliation with the university other than just being hired to teach this class. These are tenured or tenure track faculty that are in our College of Business, and we're very, very proud of that as well. And then the final aspect that sets us apart from other programs is that you get to develop that international competency, learn about how global business is nowadays, and you get to experience how to maybe transact business across another culture, which has become very important. I've really buzzed through this, so I would welcome any questions that you might have. Brittany, are we able to turn on mics for this?
Currently, I think everybody is muted. And I would suggest putting your questions in the chat or the Q&A, whatever would work best.
So that's my Monday morning spiel, but I'm happy to take questions. As Brittany said, please put them in the chat, and let me see if I can even open it. I don't think I can open it while I'm sharing my screen, Brittany. So if you would monitor the Q&A, oh, there it is. Then we can certainly answer questions that you might have. But if you know of anybody else who is interested in learning more about K-State's program, we are having another one of these Monday morning webinars. This is MBA Monday on March 21st, same time. But I can set up custom presentations for anyone. I'm not seeing any questions, Brittany. Well, I won't keep you then. If you have things you need to get to, feel free to email any of us. If you have questions, you can reach K-State Global Campus at online@ksu.edu, or you can reach me directly at sotten@ksu.edu. I would also volunteer to do a pre-application transcript analysis for you. I can create a sample draft program of study for you so that you can see what the course sequencing would be like. And just let us know how we can help you. This is a really important decision, and we want to make sure that you have the information that you need to move forward. So if there are no questions, I thank you for your time and look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Susie.
Well, have a great day.